I still remember this day. It was September 18, 2022, when I was in this same space, which is my house. And at that exact moment, I stepped on the scale after I have been quote-unquote dieting for 3 months. I couldn't believe in my eyes. My face was just horror. My anticipation level, my dopamine level drops down. And everything, it's just like every single thing on the world collapsed down. I couldn't believe what was in front of my eyes. Fast forward 2 years to today, I have had one of the fastest transformation when it comes to fat loss, turning from this to this in only 8 weeks. And that is only following one simple rule when it comes to diet. And that is the aesthetic diet rules that gives me the most aesthetic physique possible on weight loss term. So let's not waste any time further and get into the video. So first, what is the basic rules for this diet? So the rules for this diet will only cover up about one thing. The basic rules, calories. The calorie matters when it comes to body composition. Nothing matters more than calories. So what is a calorie? So calorie is a form of energy, but it's more prone to known as the energy of living things. We run using calories, we sleep using calories, we cycle around using calories, we think we use calories. So where does calories come from? Calories comes from consumable stuff like foods, some sort of new age garbage like sodas and all sort of ultra high processed food. I wouldn't call them food myself. Haha, people gonna freaking rage bait on me. I just dropped some rage bait there. So consumable items. That is where calories come from. And with that, calories power all living beings. It's a form of energy, it comes from consumable stuff, and it mostly power up every single living being. So that is calories. So what are the basic rules when it comes to calories for your own fitness goal? So there are 3 main goals when it comes to fitness related to calories. Number 1 is bulking or having a calorie surplus. So with this goal, you want to eat in a higher calories than your maintenance calories. I have made a lot of video in the past on how you find maintenance calories, so I will not go into further detail right there. But basically, you find your maintenance calories by going to a website or something like that. Just go online, find maintenance calorie calculator. You should know what to do from there. And you should add around 200 to 300 calories above that maintenance calories you find. And alongside that, with weightlifting, do also resistance training to build mass, preferably lean muscle. So that's goal number 1 of bulking or calorie surplus. Using the excess calories you have just consumed to build yourself some lean mass. The second goal is the opposite of a calorie surplus. It's a calorie deficit or losing fat. So the goal of calorie deficit is basically just use that same calorie maintenance you just find on a website before, and then subtract about 300 to 500 calories away from that and eat a diet that has around that much around calories for around 3 months. And then you should lose a significant amount of mass, like around 0.5 kilograms of fat per week with that deficit. And with this, you still train hypertrophy, still do weightlifting or all sort of stuff like that. And then after 3 months, you will most likely keep muscle, or if you're a newbie, you will gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. So that is a calorie deficit. It's the goal to maximize fat loss and maintain muscle mass, or even building muscle mass at the same time. And goal number 3 is body recomposition. Body recomposition right here is the goals most preferably for newbies. So when newbie has this massive advantage, they would like to eat at around that same maintenance calorie level, still trains hard in the gym, do resistance training with that, and the science should look like that. Fat will slowly be lost of the excess energy needed to make more muscle. So basically, you will lose fat and build muscle at the same time. So that is the main 3 goals. Number 1 is bulking or calorie surplus. Number 2 is calorie deficit or cutting. Or number 3 is main gaining or body recomposition, which is a calorie maintenance diet. You eat around the calories maintenance. So that's 3 basic rules you need to follow. Depends on what your goals are. And alongside that, there's one bonus rules I would like to put in here is protein intake. Protein intake is one of the second most important aspect when it comes to a diet for an aesthetic physique. So how much protein you consume will help on the journey of you building muscle and losing fat to change yourself into a better composition and build yourself that aesthetic physique. So how much protein should you eat? Eat around 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Make it simple for you, no wishy-washy. Just eat 0.8 grams of protein to 1 pound body weight. That could look like maybe I'm 140 pound right now. I could eat around 120 to 140 grams of protein a day. So that's the basic rules of diets. It consists of calorie surplus, bulking, calorie deficit, cutting, main gaining or recomposition, eating at around the maintenance level, and lastly, protein intake. 0.8 grams to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So that sounds a bit tough, right? People say, oh, lower calories. That means I have to eat less. I'm not sure that I can handle that. So how would you stick to your diet? Number one, you don't have to eat super healthy food all the time. You can eat what you want at what you eat. So you don't have to eat super healthy food at the time, or like a lot of people say, as long as it fits your macros. So at the end of the day, if you crave something, you can have like one bite of it. It will not ruin all your diet progress, but make sure to track it down. And if at the end of the day, the amount of energy you consumed is the same as the goal calories that you're aiming for. Like, let's imagine this. A person who eats chicken and rice, broccoli, at the end of the day, like only chicken, rice, broccoli, they eat a total amount of 2,300 calories of chicken and rice and broccoli, versus a dude who only eat Krispy Kreme's donuts, and they only eat 2,000 calories of that. Which would you think lose weight more? If they have the same amount of body weight and the same height, which of the person A or person B would lose more weight? The person who eats more donuts would lose more weight. So it's clearly just a thermogenic effect. So to stick to your diet, you would need to not really just push away your cravings. Like, you're craving something, right? You're gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna eat this, and then you just like, oh, I'm gonna eat something else to relieve the craving. Oh, and the craving's still there, I'm gonna drink more stuff, blah blah blah. And then you still have to touch the thing that you crave the most, and then you eat it anyways. Compared, you just say, okay, let me just have 50 calories of this I'm craving. It is on point. It is on plan. That I'm willing to spend 50 calories a month to resolve my cravings. And you resolve your cravings, and you're done. You're healthy, your mental health is fine, and you resolve your cravings, but you still keep it in plan. So as long as the total calories amount at the end of the day, you reach that total amount of calories, you can still eat what you crave, no matter what. So that's number one when it comes to making you stick to your diet. You don't have to push any craving away. You can still eat what you want, as long as it's in moderation and you're controlling it. Number two, eat what you want, at what you need. You don't think that you're gonna push unhealthy junk food away. Like, if you're slowly pushing the unhealthy junk food away, it's like you're swimming against the river. But swimming against the river is hard, right? You're gonna get pushed away because it doesn't feel good. Instead, with that, you're gonna tell yourself that I'm gonna add more healthy food in. So now you're like swimming with the stream. Like the stream says, add more. That sounds clicks in your mind. Ah, that's good, right? Add more healthy food. Why does this work? Oh, but the healthy food, if you add it in and there's still junk food in there, the calories gonna bump up and I'm gonna reach my weight loss. So let's imagine this book as a storage, right? So the storage, let's just say like junk food is 100% right here, fully storage of your normal diet. So we're now just saying that, oh, I'm gonna remove junk food away. All right, you remove 30% away. But now there's still 30%. You're not satisfied. You're hungry. Now you're like more likely to binge eat or like to just crash out your diet and just not follow it because you're hungry when you're sleeping. You can't stand it. You can't sleep. That's miserable, right? Instead of that, when you say that you're going to add more healthy food in, now it is more than the inventory of the storage you can fill. So by definition, if you add more healthy food in, you will slowly remove the junk food out because it has nowhere to go. It has to just go somewhere. So if you add more healthy food in, you by definition reduce amount of unhealthy food in the food. So adding more healthy food in makes your diet still whole. You can still have a normal diet that will still make you full and will still satisfy your cravings, but reduce the amount of unhealthy food without thinking that you reduce it just because you add more healthy food in. You can still eat what you crave. You just need to add what you need to. So maybe if you're craving a cupcake. Let's just have 1/4 of that cupcake, and with that, have more fiber, have some lean protein with that, and at the end of the meal, you can have that 1/4 of the cupcake, enjoy it to its maximum capacity. After you have eat what you want, you're gonna add what you need. So just make sure to cover up these two parts: eat what you want, and add what you need. Then that will not feel like a chore anymore. So after you have followed the diet, like let's just say you're a super disciplined motherfucker, what would be the realistic amount of time for you to actually attain your goal in the first place? So number one, with the goal of calorie surplus or bulking, this is a pretty long-term goal because building muscle is a pretty long progress. So to build a decent amount of muscle, I would say expect at least 1 to 2 years use all that newbie gains, because this is the period of time where newbie gains kicks in. So you would have that tremendous boost in muscle, and when you look at the mirror, you'll see yourself, oh, you're way more jacked. That's so freaking good. I'm getting more jacked every single time. You will get more motivation, and you will continue to go more and more and more and more until you reach like a good amount of muscle. I would say around 1 to 2 years. Secondly, after you have built a good amount of muscle, now you want to move on to cutting. What would be a reasonable amount of time for you to shed down the fat? So, for me, just look at the transformation I made. I have transformed myself from this to this in only 8 weeks. So I could lose a really good amount of fat if I just follow a strict calorie deficit and just follow the diet of eat what you want, add what you need. Like I said before, to make your diet super sustainable, you would definitely lose a good amount of fat within around 2 to 3 months. And if you have more fat to lose, you can have add that in 1 month of calories back to maintenance to balance your hormone out and continue around 2 to 3 more months of a cut. And I guarantee you that you will lose a significant amount of fat. Like if you have 25 to 30% body fat, you will slowly reach your visible abs. I guarantee you that. So around 2 to 3 months, or maybe up to 6 months for cutting. And for main gaining, it will take as long as you need, because you wouldn't feel the rush to actually do main gaining in the first place. Because technically you're building muscle and losing fat at the same time, so you're getting the best of both worlds, and you'll be motivated throughout your whole journey if that manages to work for you. So for main gaining, if you're enjoying the progress, just stick to it as long as you can, but I would recommend you to split it into bulking and cutting to boost your progress up. So in conclusion, that's the only rule you need to follow when it comes to diet for an aesthetic physique, is follow your calories and protein intake. And alongside that, if you have that diet where you can eat what you want, add what you need, and you stay consistent with it, even though your goal takes long like bulking, or takes a short amount of time, but a lot of mental energy like cutting, as long as you stick to it, you'll get to the result in no time. And if you want more of my knowledge packed into one place, with a community with like-minded people who are all on the same goal of building an aesthetic physique, top link in the description down below is my paid product. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the top link in the description down below. That's it for today's video, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.